For more than 40 years, a man responsible for 12 murders, 45 rapes, and over 120 burglaries across California walked free. In 2018, a DNA website finally unraveled his identity. It began in 1974 when a series of burglaries started hitting homes in Sacramento County. At the time, no one connected them to anything larger, and just an unusual spike in break-ins. In 1976, the crimes escalated sharply. The same offender began committing serial rapes, and investigators gave him a name based on his hunting ground, the East Area Rapist. Communities across Sacramento County lived under a growing sense of fear. Residents installed extra locks, formed neighborhood watches, and braced for an attacker who seemed to strike without warning. Now, the attacks didn't stay contained to one area. Over time, investigators linked the same offender to a wave of murders in other parts of California under a second name, the original Night Stalker. According to the FBI, between 1976 and 1986, this single offender committed 12 homicides, 45 rapes, and more than 120 residential burglaries across multiple California communities. Then the attacks stopped. For decades, the case went cold. Despite ongoing investigation, the identity of the man behind the East Area Rapist and original Night Stalker crimes remained unknown. In 2016, on the 40th anniversary of the first attack, the FBI and local agencies launched a national publicity campaign offering a $50,000 reward for information leading to the offender's identification. Even with renewed public attention, the case remained unsolved. Investigators still had crime scene DNA, but no name to match it to, and traditional database searches had turned up nothing. The breakthrough came in April 2018 through a method barely used in criminal investigations before: genetic genealogy. Investigators uploaded the crime scene DNA profile to a public genealogy website called GEE Match. Using that DNA, investigators built out family trees, tracing distant relatives of the unknown suspect and slowly narrowing down the branches of a massive, unrelated public database. The search eventually narrowed to one man, Joseph James D'Angelo Jr., a 72-year-old former police officer living in a suburb of Sacramento. Rather than approach D'Angelo directly, investigators placed him under surveillance and secretly collected DNA he discarded, hoping to confirm the match without alerting him. The discarded DNA matched the genetic profile from the decades-old crime scenes. After more than 40 years, investigators finally had confirmation of the offender's identity. On April 24, 2018, D'Angelo was arrested at his suburban Sacramento home, ending a manhunt that had spanned more than 4 decades and multiple generations of investigators. D'Angelo was jointly charged by district attorneys in 6 California counties: Contra Costa, Orange, Sacramento, Santa Barbara, Tulare, and Ventura, with murder and kidnapping-related counts tied to the crime spree. The multi-county charges reflected the geographic scale of the case. Crimes committed across different jurisdictions over a decade, now finally being tied together under one name. On June 29, 2020, D'Angelo pleaded guilty in court to 13 counts of first-degree murder and 13 counts of kidnapping to commit robbery. As part of the plea, D'Angelo also admitted under oath to dozens of additional rapes. Those crimes could no longer be formally charged because the statute of limitations had expired. On August 21, 2020, a Sacramento County judge handed down the maximum sentence allowed by law: 11 consecutive life sentences without the possibility of parole, plus 1 additional life term. The sentence ensures D'Angelo will spend the rest of his life in prison. In court, he apologized to his victims, stating he was, in his words, truly sorry to everyone he had hurt. The case is now formally closed. After sitting unsolved for more than 40 years, it was resolved through D'Angelo's guilty plea and sentencing, closing one of the longest-running cold cases in American history. What ultimately broke the case wasn't a new witness or a confession, but a genetic genealogy technique that didn't exist in any practical form for most of the years the crimes went unsolved. For 4 decades, the identity behind the East Area Rapist and original Night Stalker attacks remained a mystery to investigators and a source of fear to entire communities. In the end, science, not chance, closed the case,